As a recovering people pleaser, I spent most of my life changing and conforming to make other people feel less uncomfortable. Not chasing my dreams, not living the life I wanted to, not doing the things I wanted to, or believing in myself in the ways I knew I could. I was trying to make other people not feel uncomfortable. And honestly, it's not a great way to live. I lived like that for almost my whole life. And it wasn't until I started making the decisions to prioritize myself, to prioritize what I actually wanted, what I actually needed, that things started to change, that I started to feel better. If you clicked on this video, you are probably either a people pleaser or a recovering people pleaser like me. And if that is the case, you probably repeat the similar pattern that I did. And that is to spend a bulk of my time around the people who like to take advantage, the people pleasers, whether it be consciously or unconsciously, the people who want to make you feel selfish for prioritizing yourself. Like that is selfish of them to think that you should prioritize them instead of yourself. Okay, let's make that straight right now. You as a person, your goal, it has to be yourself. Obviously, there are different circumstances, and you might have kids or partners and all these things. But at the end of the day, it's like that airplane mask. Um, wow, I am struggling with the words today. Analogy. That's the word, the airplane mask analogy. If you don't put your airplane mask on for yourself first, you might pass out before you have the chance to help someone else. And that's why taking care of yourself can be so important. And I'm not just talking about like what people say as self-care, like have a bath, which that's basic hygiene. Like, yes, amazing. Have a bath, relax, do it. I do it too. If you can, amazing. But taking care of yourself, choosing yourself is more than just having a bath. It's putting yourself first in a lot of circumstances, even when it makes other people uncomfortable. For me, I would see this pattern repeat anytime I felt like I was disappointing somebody or about to deliver what I would perceive as bad news. Like, hey, landlord, I'm moving across the country, so I have to move out. The thought of telling my landlord that like I have to move and I have to give 2 months notice, that used to send me into a panic attack. And it caused a lot of repercussions and issues after because I would avoid it. Now, a lot of these people pleasing tendencies do tend to come around because of trauma. But as much as I've healed and continue to work on my mental health, it's practice, you know? For me, what happened was I reached this point where I couldn't go through the cycle anymore. I couldn't go through this repeating pattern of working and burnt out. And you might say, hey, I thought we were talking about people pleasing. Why are we talking about working now? Well, that's kind of what, for me, working for somebody else was. It was people pleasing. It was working so hard and burning myself out, being the yes woman, like saying yes to everything, yes to every shift, yes to every change, yes to every task I was assigned, even when I couldn't handle the last 10 tasks I'd been assigned. Things changed for me when I chose myself. And that's what I want you to do too. I want you to choose yourself. A little over a year and a half now, I left my last full-time job, which is still so wild to say. And I started chasing my dreams. I started believing in myself. I started going after my art. I started figuring out what I needed for myself. And a large part of that was healing all of these beliefs around how I could show up, how I could be perceived, how I could speak, if I could speak at all. Like the ways my voice had been suppressed so many times. It took a lot to be able to sit here and record these videos now. But I'm proud of myself. While those tendencies to be a people pleaser are still there, they're not as strong. I continue to work on it every day. I do the things I need to do. something that helps me when I'm having a moment, because I'm also empathic. So when other people are having strong emotions, I, as a people pleaser and trauma person, and all these fun things, I deep down it always has felt like my responsibility to fix whatever is wrong when other people are having strong emotions. Which, saying out loud, kind of is a little bit ridiculous. I think it's obviously different if you're working with kids and you're teaching them how to feel their emotions and be in their emotions. But as an adult, we are responsible for our own emotions. And something I often say is, I am not responsible for other people's emotions. I'm not responsible for other people's emotions. I'm not responsible for other people's emotions. I will repeat that out loud or in my head until I feel calm. Because if somebody else is stressing or angry, that'll send me into a panic attack. It doesn't as much anymore. But like that potential has always been there, right? Wanting to show up for myself, wanting to be an entrepreneur, wanting to hold space for myself and create something, and be able to build the life I want, to build the business I want, to one day honestly have a few people working for me so I can be hands off from the things I don't want to do. If all I'm focusing on is making sure not to rub anybody the wrong way or push any buttons, I'm not going to go anywhere. I got to learn to choose myself first. People pleasing, I think, has been my second nature for so long that I don't always know how to respond in these situations. I'll be honest, I often feel out of my depth. And a lot of these conversations are really, really hard. I mean, like running a 10K when all you've done is run 1K before, running a half marathon. I've done that. I get the reference. If you're not a runner, that is hard work. And being able to be in this place where I can hold these conversations, where I can disappoint people, not because I did anything wrong, but because maybe they didn't like the outcome. There's a bunch of reasons. But being able to hold that, it's not easy. It does get easier. And the more dysregulated or more of a hard day I am having, the harder it definitely is. It probably will always be. But it's like a muscle. The more I get used to doing it, the easier it gets and the better I am for it. These days, I'm not working for other people anymore. I am building my art business. I am building my YouTube and a personal brand. And, I've gotten into entrepreneur programs. I'm working with coaches and I'm doing all these amazing things. But what had to be left behind was the person who felt like she couldn't disappoint anybody. Because if all you're focusing is not disappointing other people, you're not looking for ways to make yourself happy. And we all need a little more of that. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. You do deserve to be happy. You do deserve to be respected and have other people accept you. You deserve to feel your emotions. You deserve not to be responsible for everybody else around you. And do not let anyone tell you different. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Go drink some water, and I will catch you in the next one.